Level 1. Bro, it's over. Give up. At this level of attractiveness, you have an asymmetrical face, hairline that started receding in your mother's womb, nose going east while your chin goes west, your teeth pointing in 6 different directions like they're all trying to escape your mouth at the same time. The kind of face that makes babies cry and dogs bark. And you're probably in a wheelchair too. Nah, just kidding. But real talk, daily life at level 1 is genuinely rough. Walking into a room and feeling invisible, or worse, feeling people actively look away. Cashiers don't smile at you, strangers don't hold the door. In group conversations, nobody makes eye contact with you. And on dating apps, you get no matches. But here's the thing, there's plenty of people at this stage living a life. Remember that one guy on YouTube who straight up called himself super ugly and made it his whole brand? He got millions of views, built an entire community around himself, and eventually even found himself a girlfriend who approached him first saying he was cute. He got set up for life. He found a girlfriend who genuinely loves him. Because the truth is, at level 1, you're forced to develop things that most people never bother with: real humor, real character, and a real personality. And sometimes that ends up being worth more than a sharp jawline. Level 2. Level 2 is the great personality zone. When someone asks your friends what you look like, they pause for a full 3 seconds. And then they say, "He's really funny though." Daily life at a 2 is a constant low grade rejection that nobody talks about. The barista never remembers your name. At parties, people only talk to you as a stepping stone to talk to your better looking friend. Getting a haircut feels pointless because the barber can only do so much with what he's working with. Dating is possible, but it requires maximum effort. The DMs have to be perfect. The texting game has to be elite. One awkward photo on your profile and it's over. The first date has to absolutely carry on personality alone because physical attraction is not going to do any of your work. But here's the hidden advantage of being a 2. The gap between a 2 and a 4 is literally effort. A solid haircut, you pay extra for a good barber, but yeah, you can get a solid haircut even if you're a 2. Basic skincare, clothes that actually fit you well, and 6 months at the gym. And suddenly, life starts looking way better. Most 2s are honestly just lazy 4s who never put in the work. Your potential is sitting right there. Level 3. Level 3 is the "I shouldn't be getting laid, but I do." And this is quite interesting because I have a personal story. I have a friend who's in my college, who's black, 280 pounds overweight at like 40% body fat. He's built like Winnie the Pooh, and his face is a generous 3 on a good day. But somehow this man gets play at the club every single weekend. You might be asking, but how? How does he do that? Well, it's a pure numbers game. He walks up to every girl in the club, every single one. No hesitation, no pre planned strategy. He just walks up and says, "Hey, you want to come back to my place?" With the confidence of Brad Pitt. Does he get rejected? Of course, 99% of the time. But that other 1%, they go home with him. And he told me he got this mindset thanks to the philosophy that shooter shoot, like Kobe Bryant, who holds the record for the most missed shots in NBA history, 14,481. But he never gave up. And yes, I know what you're thinking. He only had a shot because the girls slept with him because they wanted a taste of a big banana. But listen, genuinely ask yourself, if you asked out 100 girls in your best outfit and full confidence, would all 100 girls reject you? Or would you land at least one date? Hmm? Think about that for a second. Moving on, however, in everyday life, a 3 gets overlooked constantly. Job interviews are way harder because studies literally prove that attractive people get hired faster and paid way more. Your customer service is mid at best. Everybody assumes less about your intelligence, your competence, and your worth, all because of a face you didn't choose. It's not fair, but this is reality, unfortunately. So, what is the lesson from Winnie the Pooh? I mean, not Winnie the Pooh, but my friend who looks like Winnie the Pooh. Confidence and volume can override almost anything. It's not the most elegant way, but it's math. And math doesn't care about your face. Level 4. Level 4 is the most forgettable place on this entire list. You're not ugly enough to be noticed, but you're not really attractive enough to be remembered. Walking through a mall and security doesn't even glance at you. Heck, they don't even bother checking you, they just know you're average. And if you commit a crime and the police ask someone to describe you, they'd say, well, he was a guy and he had a face. Normal dude, I guess. And relationships can happen at level 4, but they happen slowly. It's months of friendship first, slowly building on that connection until one day either one of you goes, you know what? You've actually been really nice and I like you. Nobody is falling in love at first sight with a 4. Love at first sight requires at least a 6. But here's what makes level 4 secretly the most powerful level on this list. The glow up potential is insane. This is the stage where the bone structure is there, but it's hiding, maybe under layers of fat. Google any male celebrity's high school photo. Half of them were 4s walking around in funny, oversized graphic tees. A 4 who takes fitness seriously, gets their style together, fixes their grooming, and develops real social skills, that's a 7. And a 7 who was once a 4 is the most dangerous person on earth because they have looks and the personality. Level 5, dead center, the perfect average. You're not ugly, but nobody is writing poems about you either. You're not getting stared at for the bad reasons or any good reasons. You're just existing. This is where most people actually are statistically. If you think you're a 7, there's a very real chance you're a 5. And I'm so sorry to break the news to you, but if your mom and grandma kept calling you handsome for the most of your life, they only did that because they love you. The rest of the world couldn't give two shits about you. Daily life at a 5 is comfortable, but very unremarkable. People are polite, but not enthusiastic. Customer service is standard, not rude, but not really friendly either. On dating apps, you get some matches, but mostly you still get ghosted. Relationships absolutely happen at this level though. Most couples in the world are just two 5s who found each other and agreed to be average together. And honestly, that might be the most beautiful thing on this list. No ego, no games, just two regular people choosing each other for themselves. The 5 and 5 couple that stays together for 40 years is happier than the 9 and 9 power couple that implodes in 2. Look it up. Stability beats excitement long term every single time. Level 6. Level 6 is where strangers on the boat give you a second glance. Girls will be like, he's kinda cute. And at this stage, girls actually respond to your cold DMs. Not all of them, but you get a date or two every week now. Socially, the changes are very real. People laugh at your jokes a little harder, conversations last a little bit longer, and job interviews go way smoother because the attractiveness bias is scientifically proven. Hiring managers subconsciously associate good looks with competence. Level 7. Level 7, you're above average, and everyone knows it. Compliments from strangers become a regular thing. Girls shoot their shot at you in real life and over Instagram DMs. You could probably start making out with strangers in the club without uttering a single word and not get an essay case, but not that you should. Level 8. Level 8 is where life finally becomes easy mode, and everyone around you can notice it. Walk into a party and the energy shifts to completely being about you. The bouncer lets you skip the line, not because of who you know, but because of what you look like. At this level, dating and getting laid becomes almost absurdly easy. Multiple people are interested at you at any given time. The paradox of choice kicks in very quickly. Too many options leads to picking nobody. A lot of 8s have messy love lives. But the sad reality is that most 8s never developed a personality because they never had to. If you talk to them, all they do is smile and show off their looks. Life handed them everything on a platter since middle school, so they have no humor or any bit of authentic personality. An 8 with no personality is the most boring person you'll ever meet. Level 9. At level 9, reality starts bending in your favor. People stare you down when you walk outside the streets, they stumble over their words, people get physically nervous when they look at you. A 9 on social media is a different universe. Post a 15-second TikTok doing absolutely nothing and maybe just smile a little, and you'll get a million views. However, keep in mind you are so attractive that genuine friendships and romantic partners become rare or almost impossible to find because they are all jealous of you. Guys view you as a threat before you even open your mouth, and everybody assumes you're a player who treats people like garbage. Level 10. A lot of people say a 10 does not exist, but I'm sure they haven't heard of Dolph Lundgren. This man is a 6'5" male model. Was a male model. He was a European karate champion 2 years in a row. He won the Australian heavyweight tournament, holds a fourth degree black belt in Kyokushin karate, has a master's degree in chemical engineering, and he got a Fulbright scholarship to MIT. He has a reported IQ of 160, which puts him in the same category as Einstein. If you think that's it, he also speaks 5 languages fluently: Swedish, English, German, French, and Spanish. He served in the Swedish Marine Corps, worked as a bouncer. He became Grace Jones' personal bodyguard, started dating her, and even rode a Yamaha motorcycle to his first day at MIT with her on the back, dressed head to toe in a leather jacket. But he decided that MIT was not for him. At this level, reality doesn't just bend, it surrenders. Every room rearranges itself when a 10 walks in. Conversations stop, people forget what they were even talking about, and jobs don't get applied for. They get offered to you on a silver plate. Relationships, you don't have to work for them, they all come to you. The word no becomes something that other people experience, but you don't. But here's the twist. Even Dolph Lundgren, the closest thing to a real life cheat code, was once a scrawny, weak kid who got bullied and called a loser by his own father. He described himself as a runt. The 10 you see today was built from pain, discipline, and an insane refusal to stay where he started, which proves the most important point of this entire video. God has given everybody different cards to play in this life. Some are born really attractive, and some of us are not born with the best facial features. But this shouldn't stop you from trying your best, because somebody who's a 1 can ascend and become a 10, and also somebody who's a 10, if they don't work hard, they will lose the features God has given them, and they can end up being a 1. So, if you liked that video, make sure to subscribe to me. I'll be posting content like this, not looks maxing specifically, but topics involving money and power. So if you enjoyed that, make sure to subscribe. Bye.